on your mind tonight?
My name is Mohammad Rahil and I want to discuss about how to practice self-compassion and forgive myself.
Ah, okay, Mohammed. That's a good one. Self compassion, it's harder than it looks, right? A lot of people are way kinder to others than they are to themselves.
Yeah,
Where are you running
especially on
into
social
trouble with
media.
it specifically? Social media. Ugh, yeah, that makes total sense. It's like a highlight reel of everyone else's wins, and it's easy to beat yourself up over not measuring up. What about it specifically gets to you? Is it the comparison game or something else?
Tell me about especially what does self-compassion really means and how is it different from self-pity or self-indulgence?
Right, good clarification. It's not just feeling sorry for yourself. That's the big difference. Self compassion has three main parts, according to Kristen, who does a lot of reading this. First is self kindness, basically treating yourself with the same care you'd give a friend. Second is recognizing common humanity, understanding that everyone messes up, everyone feels inadequate sometimes. It's part of being human. And the third is mindfulness, not over identifying with your pain, just acknowledging it without getting totally swept away. Self pity is more dwelling on your suffering and feeling isolated by it. Self indulgence is like wallowing, making excuses, avoiding responsibility. Self compassion is acknowledging the pain, but also being kind to yourself through it and understanding it's not unique to you. It's about balance, owning your stuff, but not letting it destroy you. Does that make sense?
Why is it so hard for many people to forgive themselves compared to forgiving others?
That's a really good question. I think a big part of it is that we hold ourselves to impossible standards. With other people, we usually understand they're flawed. They have their own baggage. But with ourselves, it's like we expect perfection. Plus, we often know exactly why someone else messed up. There's context, maybe mitigating circumstances. When it comes to ourselves, we dissect every little thing we did wrong and kind of lose the forest for the trees. Feels more personal, more deliberate, even if it wasn't. And there's a lot of shame involved, right? Shame's a powerful blocker. You quiet? Just think over it. No pressure to respond, but if something's on your mind, feel free to share. I'm
How
here to
does
listen.
self-compassion contribute to emotional healing and mental well-being?
Okay, so this gets really interesting. Self compassion actually changes your brain chemistry. Studies show it activates the same parts of your brain as when you're comforting someone else. It lowers cortisol, that's the stress hormone, and boosts oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. So, physiologically, it literally calms you down. Emotionally, it creates a safe space to process difficult feelings without getting stuck in rumination or shame. And mentally, it builds resilience. You're better able to bounce back from setbacks when you're kind to yourself because you're not adding self criticism on top of the original problem. Basically, it creates a virtuous cycle. The more self compassion you practice, the better your emotional and mental well being becomes. It's not about letting yourself off the hook, it's about giving yourself the support you need to grow.
What are the three core elements of self-compassion and how can they be applied in daily life?
All right, let's break down those three core elements and make them practical. As I mentioned earlier, it's self kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. First, self kindness. That means talking to yourself like you talk to a friend. If a friend messed up, you wouldn't call them an idiot, right? You'd offer support. So catch yourself when you're being overly critical and replace that inner critic with a gentle voice. Even something as simple as saying, "This is hard and it's okay to struggle," can help. Next, common humanity. This one's about remembering that imperfection is universal. When you're feeling alone in your struggles, actively remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes. Everyone feels inadequate sometimes. You can even think of specific people you admire who probably deal with similar things. It's about normalizing the experience of suffering. And finally, mindfulness. This isn't about ignoring your pain, it's about observing it without judgment. When you're feeling down, don't get lost in a spiral of self-criticism. Just acknowledge, okay, I'm feeling sad right now, or this situation is really frustrating. It's about creating space between you and your emotions so you don't get completely overwhelmed. In daily life, you could try a self-compassion break. When you're having a tough moment, pause, put your hand over your heart and say kind words to yourself. Or start a gratitude journal to remind yourself of the good things in your life. Small stuff, consistently done, adds up. Sound doable?
So, how can someone recognize when they are being too harsh or self critical?
Good question. There are a few telltale signs. First, pay attention to your inner dialogue. Is it filled with shoulds and musts? Like, I should be better at this, or I must never make that mistake again. Those are red flags. Second, notice your physical sensations. When you're like being self-critical, do you tense up? Does your stomach hurt? Do you feel a tightness in your chest? Or your body often knows before your mind does. Third, think about how you'd react if someone else was saying those things to you. Would you consider it kind and helpful? Probably not. And finally, be aware of all or nothing thinking. If you view things as either perfect or a complete disaster, you're likely being too hard on yourself. It's about noticing the pattern, the way you talk to yourself when things don't go as planned.
What are some practical strategies to reduce negative self talk?
Okay, get into some practical stuff. First, try cognitive diffusion techniques. Basically, you're creating distance between yourself and your thoughts. So instead of thinking, I'm a failure, try saying to yourself, I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. It sounds weird, but it helps you recognize that your thoughts aren't facts. Second, challenge your negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought actually true? Is there another way to look at this? Third, practice self-compassionate statements. Have a few go-to phrases you can repeat to yourself when you're being self-critical, like, may I myself, or may I accept myself as I am. Try thought stopping. When you catch yourself spiraling, literally say, stop out loud, or visualize a stop sign. It interrupts the thought pattern. Finally, remember to focus on your strengths. Make a list of things you're good at and review it regularly. It's about retraining your brain to notice the positive. Those work best when you practice them regularly, not just when you're already feeling down. And does any of that jump out at you as something you might want to try first?
Why accepting imperfection is an important part of forgiving yourself.
Mm, that's a really key point. Because perfection is a myth, honestly. If you're waiting for yourself to be perfect before you forgive yourself, you're going to be waiting a long time. Accepting imperfection means acknowledging that you're human, and humans make mistakes. It's about letting go of the unrealistic expectation that you should have known better or done better. When you understand that messing up is a normal part of life, it becomes easier to treat yourself with kind compassion. It's like if a friend made a mistake, would you demand they be flawless before offering forgiveness? Probably not. Accepting imperfection is giving yourself the same grace you'd give someone else. It's the foundation for self-compassion and ultimately self-forgiveness. It allows you to learn from your mistakes without getting stuck in a cycle of shame.
What is
Just
one
processing
small, simple act of self compassion?
one small act. I'd say it's the hand to heart exercise. Seriously. When you're feeling stressed or down, just pause for a moment, place your hand over your heart, and say something kind to yourself. Anything. Like, this is a difficult moment. Or, may I be gentle with myself? It sounds simple, and it is. But the physical touch combined with the kind words can be surprisingly soothing. It's a little reminder that you deserve compassion, especially from yourself. It takes like 10 seconds. You could even
Okay,
do it right now if you want.
I'll try to apply this
Good.
in my life, and I'll be right back with another interesting topic. So, bye for now.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Seriously, even just noticing when you're being hard on yourself is a huge step. All right, sounds good.